Jen's Movie Rehab. And this is where we assigned Jen a movie to go watch over the weekend, because before she came to Kick, she had not watched any movies.
And so someone would make some kind of a movie reference, and I wouldn't get it. I wouldn't have any idea what they were talking about.
She couldn't be a part of any of our conversations.
It was really sad.
Ever. In fact, ever.
It was very Rudolph and Reindeer Games kind of adjacent. But every Friday, someone would give me a movie to watch, or Randy gives me a movie to watch. I watched it over the weekend.
Just some random person. Hey, Jen, go watch this movie.
And then I come back on Monday, rank it 1 to 10, let you know what I thought about it.
And it's usually one that we've all already seen,
classic
right?
Movies,
yeah, classic
yes.
movies. So we're going to find out what she thought. And we going into Easter weekend, we looked and thought, what should we do for Easter? And I think it's only appropriate that we assign you the greatest Easter movie of all time,
which is
The Passion of the Christ.
So this is one that I mean, obviously I've heard of it. It's huge, but I've never seen this one before.
The 2004 American epic biblical drama film, co-written, co-produced, and directed by Mel Gibson, stars Jim Caviezel as Jesus of Nazareth, Mary Morgenstern as Mary, the mother of Jesus, and Monica Bellucci as Mary Magdalene, and it depicts the Passion of Jesus according to the Gospels of Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John.
Wow, okay.
So it was a very controversial film, and it received polarized reviews from critics. Some found the graphic violence to be extreme and emotionally draining. It's rated R, even though it's a biblical story.
Right.
It grossed $612 million worldwide.
Wow.
Became the 5th highest grossing film internationally, and it's the highest grossing Christian film of all time, as well as the highest grossing independent film of all time. It was the highest grossing R-rated film in the U.S. at $370 million, a record which remained unbroken for 20 years.
Wow.
And it received 3 nominations at the Academy Awards for Best Makeup, Best Cinematography, and Best Original Score. It is, caution you hugely. This is the kind of movie that you only watch once.
Okay.
I would never advise watching it again. It's a lot.
Right.
A lot. Definitely not one for the kids until they're old enough and ready for this. It's the kind of movie that, there's things that you watch for in this. Mel Gibson talks about at the point when they put the nails into Christ's hand. He said he wanted to make sure that was his hand holding the hammer, driving those nails in, because it was his sin, that did that.
Right.
So it's rated R. You can watch it for free on Netflix. Definitely one of the probably heaviest movies we've ever assigned, but appropriate for this weekend.
So do they actually stick to the story, or do they take a lot of creative liberties? That's what I want to know.
They stick to the story.
Okay.
And of course, spoiler alert, on Easter, he was resurrected.
Right.
But no, it's very, very close. In fact, all of the dialogue is in Aramaic, Hebrew, and Latin.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
So in ancient Latin, too.
Yeah.
We're talking ancient Roman Latin, not the scientific kind that we all use today. So very historically accurate, very historically represented. There was so much research spent on this film, on the crucifixion process, the Jerusalem political scene at the time, the type of torture that was used for the scourging scenes, all of those things.
So I'm going to watch The Passion of the Christ this weekend, and then I will come back on Monday, rank it 1 to 10, and let you know what I thought about it.
Jen's Movie Rehab! This weekend, to be an Easter, we decided to assign you Passion of the Christ, which most everybody else has seen except for you.
They've probably only watched it one time ever, because this movie is gruesome.
So was it the worst movie you've ever seen?
Oh, no, not even close.
Really?
I thought it was incredibly well directed. It's well acted. I think part of the reason that it's so gruesome is because of the way that it is portrayed. The lighting of it, the acting behind it, the storytelling, and the fact that it's real. And it was just one of those things that you're watching this movie, and as it progresses, you're like, this is awful. And you want to look away so many times, but you understand the importance of, not looking away and what Jesus went through. And there's so many different ways that you can feel for this. You can feel for it as someone who loves Jesus. You can feel for, Jesus and Mary as a mother who went through that with her son, and as a parent watching her child struggle. And I had no idea that it was going to be a 2-hour movie about these, 2 or 3 days.
Yeah.
It was crazy to think about how just everything was just dragged out, but that's really how it went.
It was the Passover festival from the Friday until, of course, the Sunday. One of the interesting scenes I always thought that we hadn't mentioned yet was, and it was the first time I'd ever seen this, portrayed the humanity when it flashed back to when he lived at home with his mother, and they're kidding each other. They're joking around and stuff, and that was so foreign of a concept then. Now it's not so much.
Right, but I mean, just seeing it then, and you get to see the relationship between Jesus and Mary, and then, of course, you get to see just how human he was. Joking with his mother, as a carpenter, making the table and things like that, which is a very different way than I think we typically see Christ.
And I think oftentimes because of the association with Christianity, it's easy for us to take for granted what was at that time the worst death, and still, by some scientists' standards, the worst death you could experience.
I mean, well, you look at everything that he went through, and there was so much of they want to punish him, but not enough that he dies, and so he's
29 lashes.
29 lashes, exactly, because 30 would kill him. And so it was a brutal movie to watch. I don't think I could ever watch it again and go through that again, because afterwards you just feel so just
numb.
Drained.
Numb. Yeah,
raw,
worn out.
Absolutely. So on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give this movie a 9.
Good rating, I think so, especially with everything that was involved with it. And now it's under your belt. You never have to watch it again till next Easter.
Oh, boy. It's Jen's Movie Rehab.
On the 4 states, #1 for country.
Kicks 102.5.